All right, so I guess we'll go ahead and get started here. And thank you guys for coming. I know it's only 2 people, but I had a lot of other people signed up, but I had a lot of people email me kind of saying, hey, we had something come up all of a sudden, and they weren't going to be able to make it. So, but we're going to go ahead and do it anyway. That'll show up on its own. So again, we're going to be talking about YouTube. If you got the sign in there for the PD credit, and then this bit.ly up here is just if you want this presentation, which the presentation I've got step-by-step things in there, but honestly probably just following along here. And of course I'm doing a screencast of all this right now, so it will have everything there of what we did, so if you need to go back and watch a part of it or whatever. So real quickly, I know I've met both of you guys before. You probably never have met each other. So John, you want to introduce yourself real quick?
5th grade at Steele.
I'm 7th grade at Churchill.
So and of course, I'm Jared Bruning. I used to teach at Churchill. Now I'm one of the instructional coaches. So anyway, with YouTube here, what I wanted to kind of start out with here is talking about the facts about YouTube. Because if you think about YouTube, it's pretty mind-blowing how big YouTube actually is. Because I don't know if you guys are aware or not, but YouTube is actually the second biggest search engine on the internet. Google's #1, and then YouTube's actually #2, and then everything else, kind of like Yahoo and all the other stuff, falls way behind YouTube. All right, but just some interesting things here. The very first video on YouTube was uploaded April 23rd of 2005, and so if you want to see here's the very first video ever on YouTube.
Alright, so here we are on the elephant. What these guys, this is where they have really long trunks, and that's cool. And that's pretty much all.
And that's it. It's from the San Diego Zoo. This is one of the guys, I forget what his name is. He's one of the founders of YouTube, so he's like a billionaire now. But this is the very first video ever uploaded on YouTube from 2005, which, again, I guess for old guys like maybe John and I, 2005 doesn't seem like that long ago. And just think about how much YouTube has changed everything since then. So, again, 2005 was the first video uploaded on YouTube. Every hour, you can see, 300 hours of video are uploaded to YouTube every minute. All right, so I forget what they said, every day there's something close to almost like a decade worth of video uploaded to YouTube. It's just ridiculous how much video is being uploaded. And then almost 5 billion videos watched every single day on YouTube. One interesting thing, approximately 20% of people who start watching your video will leave it after the first 10 seconds. I don't know if you guys are like me. You usually start watching a video, within 10 seconds you kind of decide whether or not this video is worthwhile, and then you're gone. That's usually how most people view YouTube. The highest paid person on YouTube, because if you actually start really posting on YouTube, you can actually get monetized. And I forget what it is. It's something like for every 1,000 viewers, you get $3 every 1,000 views. The highest paid guy on YouTube, he makes videos of Minecraft, and he gets paid $16.5 million he made in 2017 from people watching his YouTube videos. And then I'm sure probably some of you guys ever seen Ryan's Toys before? He's the one he has stuff at Target and everything, but he just simply plays with toys, and he's only 6 years old in 2017, but he made $11 million just by sitting there and playing with toys. So again, YouTube is just kind of an interesting phenomenon in our culture that so many people use YouTube, and so of course it only makes sense that we as educators, start trying to use YouTube as well. So first off, I just wanted to present a few ideas of ways to use YouTube, and maybe you guys have some different ideas about ways to use YouTube in your classroom. One big one is using Screencast, and actually that's something we're going to try to do today, is do your own screencast and then upload it onto YouTube. Doing demonstrations, I know especially for a math teacher, it would be awesome if you could just set up your Chromebook, film yourself doing a couple problems, post it to YouTube, and then your kids have got it. Your kids could just watch that same, procedure over and over again. So doing demonstrations, we were talking about how you learn so much from YouTube, just like household things, like learning how to put up drywall. You learn by watching YouTube. You could have students create commercials, put them up on YouTube, do for English teachers, do book trailers, or even book reports. Again, how-to videos. I do a ton of how-to videos using YouTube. Travel guides, personal narratives, again, showcasing artwork. This is the big one that I'm really hoping maybe I can push for, that maybe you guys might actually latch onto. If you look up here, this is what I call the virtual substitute. So in the past few years, I've been doing this probably for 3 years now, every time that I knew I was going to be gone from school, I would just simply record a YouTube video and post it. So you can see this video here.
All right, guys, happy Monday. Again, I told you I wasn't going to be here again today. You might see me around a little bit here today in the building, but I'm not going to be able to be in the classroom here for today. So, what we're going to do today is just simply continue on with our notes, going through like the onset of the war.
So with this video, like I go through it and I even like, I describe a homework assignment that I'm going to ask them to work on. Whoops. And then, I even get into detail about, what their bell ringer is for the day. I even have a timer up there that's running during the whole thing. And then I come back and give them, the instructions at the end of exactly what I want them to do. I've had a number of substitute teachers come to me and say this was the best thing ever because it basically made the students feel as if I was there, even though I wasn't. And then two, I know that the students were getting exactly the instruction that I wanted them to get. So that the next day when I came back, if, sometimes I would have students before I did this, students would say to me, well, the substitute didn't tell us to do that. And it's like, well, no, that was in the instructions. Now I know for sure, well, if they showed the video, you heard it, that you were supposed to be doing this. So again, I love using the virtual substitute. I think it's a great thing. Again, if you know that you're going to be gone, sometimes I would even record them at like 5 in the morning. If I got sick in the morning or I had a kid that was sick, I would record them real quickly in the morning. So I guess, do you guys have any other ideas of ways you could maybe use YouTube? Like making your own stuff?
Now, in
No.
your sub plans,
Uh-huh.
did you post the link to the video, or how did you make it accessible to the sub?
Well,
Because I know some subs are technophobes.
yeah. Well, I had one sub that almost refused to use technology, and even she was able to find it. What I would do is I would post it on, I had a class website,
Oh.
and so I would post it on my class website.
Okay.
But you could even just simply put that on Google Classroom
Yeah.
and say to the kids, okay, here it is, there's your instructions for the day. If you were going to be gone, you could just post the link on Google Classroom. But I like to put it on my class website, and then the sub could just put it up on the board at the beginning of class.
I think I'm advanced with technology. Some things I'm just so stupid about. I'm going to ask stupid questions as well. How do you get your video in the corner like that?
It's just simply here. I'll get out of the into the editing mode here.
But in
Oh, you mean in the video itself?
Yeah.
Okay, well, that's part of actually what I use is a program called Camtasia that I create these screencasts with because I make tons and tons and tons of screencasts. Actually, part of my grad work that I was doing last year was creating these screencasts and seeing if students actually would interact with them.
But I think a big part of it is having your picture there.
You're exactly. I remember I was at a conference about 4 years ago, and someone was talking about screencasts, and they said, have yourself in the video somewhere. If it's just your voice talking, the students aren't going to pay attention. But if they can actively see you there,
So what are you using to do that?
I use a thing called Camtasia, but actually I'm going to show you a new thing here today that's just an online tool that's called Screencastify that you guys can use. Okay, you've used Screencastify, so again, some of this stuff may be stuff you guys already know, and so but the goals here for today for what we're going to be covering. I just want to make sure, first we're going to create your own YouTube channel. Then we're going to go through some tips of searching on YouTube for stuff to use in class, maybe some things you didn't use before in searches. Then we're going to talk about how to insert videos into Google slide presentations. And you probably already know how to do that, but there's another little trick I want to show you here that makes it really convenient using YouTube videos. Then we're going to upload a video. We're actually going to do a screencast and, set up all the settings for how you want the viewers to watch it, and then we're going to try to manage your channel, show you how to share the video, and then lastly, we're going to talk about this thing called, you guys have heard of Koopa or Koopa? Have you heard of this before? Okay, all right, well, I'm going to mention it here at the end because it definitely affects us as educators trying to use YouTube, all right, or at least trying to create stuff on YouTube. All right, so first thing I want to try to do here is create a YouTube channel with you guys, all right? So whether you guys realize, I guess, do either one of you have a YouTube channel yet?
Not with my Gmail or my Galesburg.
Not with your Galesburg 205 account. Well, of course, you probably realize, YouTube is owned by Google, so they basically talk to each other and understand each other. And so, if you both have a Galesburg 205 account, you have basically a YouTube account already sitting there and waiting for you. And so, what I was going to do here is I'm going to get out of this, and I'm going to create a new YouTube account real quick. And so, if you guys want to follow along here, and hopefully we can do this together. Again, it's been a little while since I've created a YouTube account. but I created a new Gmail so that way I could do one here. Okay, so if you go to YouTube, so again, if you guys want to go to youtube.com, and what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, let's see, can I switch accounts here? So I'm going to switch accounts, and I'm actually going to go and I'm going to add an account. So if you click on that in the upper right-hand corner, hopefully it looks the same for you guys.
It sure says create a channel rather than add an account.
Okay, yeah, so go ahead and click on that create a channel. So I'm going to add an account to mine. And let me find the account that I want to use. So is yours pulling up something here?
So if I do hit yes on this and it's my name, people search me on the internet will find this.
Yeah, but I mean, you could set, like there it's asking you to select a custom name, so you could make like a different name for your account rather than just your name. Because like I've got, you can see actually I have an account of some history stuff that I'm putting on YouTube, but I'll go ahead and I'll custom name
But
this one.
it's still going to be a 205 account.
Yeah, well, I mean, it'll be eventually linked to your 205.
So this is just my channel name.
Yeah, so your channel name. So if you want to call it, 5th grade or whatever you want. So let me put my password here. This one. Okay. Let me try to get to the screen that you guys are at. Well, maybe it's not going to let me do that. It's already got my channel set up for me. So, if you guys want to create a custom name, you can call it math or whatever, come up with a name that stay in there.
I'm just going to try. You didn't get it.
Okay, so you got like Matthew Peterson.
Oh, did you already create?
I didn't click the button yet. Oh, so
You got the same thing.
Oh,
Same thing. Huh. Well, that's not going to help.
No, it's not.
You can't actually do that.
they must be doing maintenance.
Yeah, I'm guessing they must be doing maintenance right now on there. But let's just see. I'm wondering if we can do some of the other things here without actually having that account set up yet. So let me move on from that, and we'll see if we can come back to it, and then I'll kind of run through and see if we can do the Screencastify thing here in a moment. But I suppose I'll go ahead and skip ahead a little bit here to ways to search for YouTube videos. So here on YouTube, so I'm going to go to just the main page of YouTube. So if you guys want to go back to the main page of YouTube, and we're going to search for something. So again, say you're looking for, maybe you're looking for a math thing or you're looking for a science thing. I'm going to look for the Battle of Wilson's Creek since I was big into history. Okay, so once you search for something, one thing that I think a lot of people forget about is this little filter button. So if you click on that filter button, it's going to open up a bunch of different options of things that you can decide about your video. So like for instance, a lot of times when I was looking for a video, I was like, okay, I want a video to show the students that is less than 4 minutes long. I don't want anything that's like an hour-long documentary. I don't want to search through all these hour-long documentaries about the Battle of Wilson's Creek. So I can just click on that shorter than 4 minutes, and now it brings up all the Wilson's Creek battlefield videos that are less than 4 minutes long. So that way I don't have to search through all those really long videos. Or like say for instance, I'm looking for something about, if I'm looking for something about like an update to Google, I don't want to see things that are like from 10 years ago. I want to make sure it's stuff from like, maybe this year. And so then I can have that filter on. So again, these filters really help out in, narrowing down your searches so that you're not spending a lot of time just simply, searching and searching through all these different videos. Because again, like I said, 300 hours uploaded every minute to YouTube. So there's one little tool you might be able to use that, a lot of teachers don't think about. There's another one I was going to talk about here.
I was able to just create a channel.
Oh, did it?
Oh.
Did it let you in?
But I didn't click on enter my own name. I clicked on my real name.
Okay, so it did let you actually in
So I'm
to create.
in now.
So you're in now. Okay. All right. Another little tip here, you can see like I've got type in for kids or for middle school, for instance, when you're typing in your searches. So that way it'll narrow it down even more. So maybe I'll do for high school. And so that might narrow it down even more to, like my filter just turned off there. So less
Is there
than.
more duration filters? 'Cause that seems really helpful.
Yeah, I wish there were. There should be more duration filters because I mean, yeah, honestly,
It's not a good solution.
yeah, it's just less than 4 minutes, but it's still even less than 4 minutes
Yeah.
is helpful because before, like for me with documentaries, like if I turn off this filter,
Yeah.
you can see I got 37 minutes, 56 minutes. It's like there's no way I'm going to use that for an entire class period, and I'm just looking for the little short clips that would kind of add to my instructions. So again, that's kind of a neat little tool there to use that filter tool. And actually, in the presentation, I put in this other little video that kind of goes through some of the things about filter tools and everything that you can use. All right, so you've got an account up and running now.
Mhm.
Your account isn't up and running yet.
No, I can use my real name though.
Okay. Because I was going to say this next thing I was going to show you real quick is just simply, have you guys ever messed around with playlist on YouTube? Okay, so you can create these list of videos that like all go together. And actually, I was talking to a teacher earlier today that was saying how much they would have liked or wish they would have known about playlist earlier. All right, so let's say there's this video here that I want to use. Of course, I'm a little disappointed they have a picture of the Battle of Antietam for the Battle of Wilson's Creek. But anyway, when you look at the video, you can see below it, of course, you have all these things like, how many people have liked it, dislikes. Down below, of course, they got the comments, which are usually worthless and even looking at because they're just usually people making ridiculous statements. But if you look here, there's this little plus button. Do you guys see that little plus button there? When you click on that, you can create like a new playlist. So say, for instance, okay, this video is part of the Western theater of the war, or maybe it's part of, some algebraic one chapter that you're going through. Or maybe I'll say this is part of chapter 16 or whatever. That's my Civil War chapter. And so I can go ahead and I can set on this whether this is just going to be a playlist for me to see, whether it's going to be public, unlisted, or private. And actually, we're going to get into that when we get into posting the video. I want to make it public because I might share it with the students and say this is a list of videos that you can use. And so I'm going to go ahead and create this playlist. And so now when I go back to my channel, and so if you click on your icon up in the right-hand corner, you can go back to your channel. And please stop me if I'm ever going too fast on this. So you can go back to your channel. And when I go to my channel, you can see there's a created playlist that I just made. And you can see there's only one video in there right now. But I could go and keep on adding more videos to it. So I'll search again for Battle of Wilson's Creek. Say that I like this video here. So I can add that to my chapter 16 playlist. And now when I go back here, I should be able to refresh this. And it should show 2 videos in there now. Nope, it's still only showing the 1 video. But you should be able to, let me refresh it here. Keep on adding to those playlists. Or you can put it like in a watch later. But again, you can create these playlists. And eventually what you can do, like once I click on this playlist to play all, if I just copy that link at the top of that first video, you can see here's the playlist over here is showing my 2 videos that I've got in there for chapter 16. I could just copy this link at the top and share that with the students, and they would get all those videos for that playlist. Does that kind of make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so again, it's kind of a neat way to be able to organize, the different videos that you're watching. Because if you were like me, I had just tons and tons of videos I was using, and so that's just a good way to organize it. How about let's go ahead and move ahead to, let me make sure I'm hitting the things I said I was going to hit. So we've kind of got, some tips on using the filter tool there to be able to look for videos, creating a playlist. Now I want to talk about inserting a video into a Google slide presentation. So real quickly, if you want to go ahead and open up a Google slide presentation, and we'll just practice doing one here real quick. And I'm sure you guys have probably added videos to Google slide presentations before, right? Okay, if not, we're going to go through it just real quickly how to do it. So let's go to, I'll go to this lecture about the Battle of Wilson's Creek. So what I always do whenever I search for videos and use them on Google Slides is I copy the link at the top. So I just copy that URL. So I'm going to copy that, then I'm going to come back to my Google slide presentation. Remember to insert a video, you just hit insert, video, and I'm going to go by URL. Because a lot of times if I just type in that search thing, or if I search from directly in Google Slides, it doesn't always find it immediately. And so there I've got that video that I just was watching. I'm going to insert that into the slide presentation. Okay, here's the part that a lot of people don't use that is kind of neat. If you right click on the video, it's going to open up this whole menu here, and you've got this one down here that says format options. So again, if you right click on the video and hit format options, it's going to open up all these things on the side that you can do. And the big one is this playback, video playback options. So let's say in the video, I know that I don't want them to hear, I only want them to hear the part from 3 minutes until 3 minutes and 30 seconds. That's the only part of the video I want them to hear. And so I can set that to that. And so now when I go to view my presentation and I click on this video, it's automatically going to go ahead to 3 minutes. So that's kind of a cool little thing if you know these videos, because a lot of times you get like a 10-minute video, but yet you only want 2 minutes of it is all you're really wanting the students to be able to see. And so when you're doing your presentation, that makes it real easy to where it'll go to exactly where you want the video to be. But again, if you click on the format options, I could set it up where it would automatically play as soon as that slide came open. Or there's been times where I've had like, and again, I apologize, I keep talking about history, but I was a history teacher where I would have like a battle map from the Civil War, and I just wanted them to be able to see the animation. I didn't really want them to hear the talking going on because I was going to talk about it. I could mute the video, so that way when I played it, it would just play, would be immediately muted in there. So again, that format options is a little tool that I don't think a lot of people use in Google Slides when inserting YouTube videos. All right, so again, these other things are just simply, you know, positioning and putting like a drop shadow behind it and stuff. But I really think the playback options is the big one, or video playback is the big one that really has some cool functions in there. All right, so we were going to move ahead to, let's go ahead and do a screencast. All right, so if you got a YouTube channel up and running there, let's go ahead and do a screencast here. So if you go to, or look for Screencastify. All right, so you can just go on Google, search for Screencastify. What this is it's an extension that we can add to Chrome, where you can record yourself. You already have the extension on yours? Okay, so you already got it there. So have you used it very often, or?
I used it a couple times last year. There was one time I was gone, and so I made a video of how to do a couple problems with it.
Okay.
This one here.
Yep, and so you just click add to Chrome. And so how did you share it with the students? Just...
I think I saved the file to my computer, and what I had was I had a USB drive, so I saved in there that way when they sub-logged into the computer, they still have access to it.
Oh, okay.
They just use the USB.
Okay, okay. Yep, looks like it's already installed on there for you.
Yeah, right here.
Yep, yep. So when you go to, and I've got a video here, of course, how to upload and everything. So in case, you know, you need to go back and watch this video, it'll show you how to upload from Screencastify. But I'm going to go ahead and make a video here real quickly. And so you can see up here on my extensions, I've got it right here. So in order to record, I know Katie, you already know this, in order to record, just push the button. And actually, let's all just go ahead and record a video real quick, because then I want you to see, you know, how it's going to look when it gets to your YouTube account. So on the Screencastify, I want to tell it what I want it to record. So it's going to record my desktop. I've got my camera on because it's got the embedded webcam. You know, microphone I've got turned on. You can see the levels there. So you might want to test real quick, see if your microphone is on, because it's going to ask you, probably for you being the first time using it, it's going to ask you if it wants to allow you to use those things. Yeah, you got to go through a few steps of allowing it the first time you go through it. now if you click on your Screencastify button up there. Open up that recording thing. So you want to turn on your webcam. This is where, like you were talking about, having it in the corner
So
or
if you
whatever.
click enable webcam, it puts you in the corner.
Yep, it'll be in the corner. And actually,
Oh.
some of the options, I thought it opened up options from here where you wanted that at, because it can be in like the bottom right, bottom left. It should automatically put it in the corner here. But so you guys have your desktop, because again, you're going to record your desktop, you're going to record your microphone, you're going to be on the webcam. And I know it's weird being on camera, but it's just one of those things you kind of have to get over eventually. So I'm just going to go ahead and hit record. So if you guys want to go ahead and hit record, you can see that's where I'm going to be in the video. Now, the next screen, it's going to ask you what you want to record. And so I got to click on this to say I want to record my entire screen. And I want to record the embedded webcam. So once I do that, I'm going to hit share, and it's going to give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1.
All right, so if you guys want to hit share, it should give you a countdown.
You want to do the entire screen?
Yep, just do the entire screen.
What's the other option?
Like, the other one is when you're on the desktop or on that other, on the box up in the upper right-hand corner, you can choose, like, just do your browser and stuff. But honestly, it's easier just to do entire screen.
Just do entire
Yeah, because a lot of times you'll have, like, a presentation in the background saying, this is what we're doing here.
3, 2, 1.
All right, so both of you guys are recording right now?
Oh, I already recorded.
Oh, you already recorded. Okay, so you're recording right now.
I see. Okay, stop button here.
Yeah, and so actually all you got to do is click on, you can click on the stop at the bottom, or, I usually just click on the icon at the top that I started with, and then just hit stop recording. All right, now once it stops recording, it's immediately going to take you to this screen where it starts showing your video that they must have updated their page. So I'm going to skip the tour for right now. But here's the video that I just made. All right, so if you guys want to hit share, it should give you a and so you guys can see the video that you just made.
Okay, stop button. So,
Okay, so now on the right side of your screen, actually this is brand new. This is new today. I have not seen this before because I probably used it like 2 days ago, and this is like brand new the way they got this. So it looks like on the right side of your screen, it's got a few different ways you can share it. You could share the video immediately to Classroom. I mean, I suppose if you did not want to put it on YouTube at all, you could do that. But for me, I guess one thing I should have talked about at the beginning. One of the reasons I like to use YouTube is because sometimes there's things that I want parents to be able to see. Like, for instance, at the beginning of the year, I would record an introductory video where I would introduce myself to parents, basically, and I would put it out there on YouTube. If I just put it in Google Classroom, it's basically going to save it to my drive, and it's not necessarily going to be where they can view it. YouTube makes it where, as long as they got the link, they can view the video. And so, anyway, I'm going to go ahead and click on Publish to YouTube. So if you guys want to go ahead and click on Publish to YouTube, and once we put it on there, it's not like it's out there immediately, okay? We're going to be able to do some things to adjust things so that not everybody can see it. In fact, it's going to show up right now because this is one of the big things I wanted to talk about. You can see right now, as soon as you click on that, have you guys got this box that says private on there? You guys got the box that says private? Okay, so there's a few different settings you have on YouTube. I don't know if you guys
I
are...
don't have my name up there. You?
At the top?
You're right, it doesn't.
It says add a YouTube channel.
Oh, okay. Go ahead and click, add a YouTube channel. It should take you to YouTube. And you'll click on your account that you're using for YouTube.
Okay, so now it took care of it.
Okay, so now you got there. So now before you upload, I want to talk about these few different settings, private, public, and unlisted. So if it's private, that means, again, you're the only one that can watch the video. Okay, nobody else can watch it. They can't search for it. They can't do anything with it. So even if I sent them the link to it, they couldn't watch that video because it's only I can watch it. So like, for instance, one of the big things, the first way I got into making movies was I would make movies for my kids, like make movies of our vacations and just doing stuff around the house. I used to burn all those to DVD. Now I've gotten in the habit of, I just put all of them on YouTube. and I put them in as private videos, so that way only I can watch them. And so that's where I save all my videos now, is on YouTube. So even though it's my own personal stuff and I don't want other people to see it, I just put it there because it's easier for me just to save it there than to save it on my computer. So you can set it as private. Or if you set it as public, that's where anybody can view it, anybody can find it, it's all there. The one that I use the most as a teacher is the unlisted one, because with this, whoever has the link can view it. So if you have a substitute teacher there and you want them to watch your video, they can access it. Or if you have a video that you only want students to be able to see, as long as they have the link, they can see it, but nobody can search for it. So they can't really search for you necessarily. So the unlisted is what I use the most. So I'm going to go ahead and put this as unlisted on here. And I can put it in a description if I want. Maybe I'll put, instructions for, I don't know, what is tomorrow? 15th? All right, instructions for that day, and I'm going to go ahead and click upload. So again, if you guys want to go ahead and set yours as unlisted, put instructions for 1/15/2020 or whatever you want for a description, it doesn't really matter. And I'm going to go ahead and click upload. And so now it'll upload my video onto YouTube. And hopefully yours is going to upload quickly, hopefully quicker than mine is right now. Because I want us to be able to get into our channel so I can show you the YouTube studio. All right, so it says that it's uploaded. Wow, this is cool. It's already got it, it's got the link where I can go ahead and just click on view on YouTube. And it's probably going to take a moment for it to finalize the video. There it is. All right, so if you guys want to hit share, it should give you a
Want to do the entire screen?
Yep, just do the entire screen. All right, so there's our video on YouTube. Again, I can copy that link, or I can go back to the other page and they've got copy the link right there, and that's the link then I could share with my students. I could send that to them and everything. All right, so have you guys clicked on it now to see if you're...
Mine's still,
Yeah,
says
mine's
we're
uploading.
uploading.
It's still uploading for you?
I take it TeacherTube is owned by YouTube.
I don't believe so. I don't think it is. And
I don't think it is either, because now that I think of their screen, it's really different.
yeah, and honestly, I've looked at other options besides YouTube, and it's like YouTube just really has the corner on the market. That's where everybody goes.
That's because it's well known.
It's well known, exactly, but when I get to the end here and I talk about Koopa, that might change in the future. Who knows? Because Koopa might be changing things on YouTube here in the next few years. But so yours are still uploading there. All right.
I heard they're also changing things where they're really going to change things as far as kids.
That's what Koopa is.
Is that what it is?
I'll get to that, yeah, but it's kind of freaking everybody out on YouTube because a lot of creators are saying that, this is too restrictive and they're not going to be able to do anything new on YouTube.
I've taught some of the creators that I follow are worried.
Yeah, they're all worried.
Because they're worried that all the adult content will be taken away.
Yeah.
Because it's geared towards kids.
Yeah. When I get to that part, I'll kind of talk about what the point of it is and why people are worried about it. So it's still uploading?
Yours uploaded a lot faster than
I was say what I usually did every time I would create a video, I would upload it to school because the broadband here was so much faster than at my house. But that's interesting that it's not uploading for you guys. But how about I'm going to go ahead here and show you a little bit more of what you can do with this video once we get it uploaded. So right now I'm logged in under my new account that I just made, but actually you can see this video should be under my, it's under my Jared Bruning account because that's my school account right there. I'm going to go ahead and switch to that account. All right, so now I'm in. All right, so I'm in that account now, and what I'm going to do is go to my channel. All right, so here on my channel, you can see here's all, a bunch of videos that I've uploaded. I've got a couple playlists, some that my kids have created and stuff. But the big thing I wanted to show you here is, of course, you can go in and you can customize your banner on your YouTube channel. You just have to click on it and it'll ask, what do you want to put in there. I guess one little tip here while we're sitting here waiting for your videos to upload. One thing that you guys may not be aware of, I think a lot of people forget about.
Yeah, just do the entire screen.
Pause for me.
The other one is when you're on the desktop or on that.
No, it's not one to pause.
Box right.
One thing I wanted to show you real quick that maybe you guys aren't aware of, and I know this isn't a YouTube tip. Do you guys ever have your students find photos on Google? like to put into presentations and stuff. One suggestion when they're doing a picture, so let's say I look for Thomas Jefferson, and I want to find an image of him. One thing that a lot of people forget about is, of course, these are all, copyrighted images, from Britannica, from biography.com, history.com. If you go up here to Tools and click on Tools and then go to Usage Rights, you can actually find, labeled for reuse, ones that have been okayed to be used for reuse. So if you're ever worried about, is the stuff I'm using copyrighted, and I'm going to put it out there, my students are using it, and someone might complain about copyright, this is one way that you can kind of get around that, is that you can go and look for ones that are labeled for reuse. And you can see some of these are like, you can, if you modify it, then you can use it, things like that. I just go to the labeled for reuse. Now, I'm not going to say that I use that all the time. I'm guilty, I'm sure, plenty of just copying and pasting images into my presentations, but anymore, I try my best to try to use only the stuff that is for reuse.
I know that one, and I teach my kids to use that.
Okay, you teach your kids,
But
yeah.
I cheat myself like you.
Yeah.
Personally.
Exactly. I mean, I feel like, I don't know if anybody's ever.
Don't leave the room.
Yeah, it doesn't leave the room. It's like, I'm using it for teaching my class. It's not like I'm out there selling my stuff or anything like that. But again, it's just kind of a little tip to use for your kids to say, hey, make sure you don't.
Oh, wait, now there's,
So it uploaded?
I hit enter too, and it uploaded.
Oh, now it uploaded. Okay. All right. So once it's uploaded, again, you can click on there if you want to go ahead and click on it so you can see yourself on YouTube real quick. But what I wanted to show you is if you go back to your main YouTube page and again, go to your channel. So again, click on your icon up in the upper right-hand corner and then go to your channel. You may not see your video there because if it's unlisted, it's not going to be there. Like you see, I've got these videos here that are set as public, so everybody can find them. And so you're probably like, well, where's my video at? Is everybody here at this page with me, basically? Okay, so if you click on this YouTube Studio, this is where you can really manage your videos. So if you click on the YouTube Studio, it's going to give you this dashboard, and it shows you all this stuff. Like, for instance, you can see my views this week. I'm down 71%. It's not like I'm monetizing my videos to try to make money. But if you were, this is where you can go and look at all your analytics of how many people are actually watching your videos. But if you come over here to the left-hand side, there's this button that says Videos. And if I click on that, it's going to show here are my videos. And there's the most recent one that I uploaded. All right, and so if I click on that, so if you click on, does everybody see a video there for them in the video manager? All right, so if you click on that video, it's going to open up a whole bunch of different options. So here I can go in here and I can retitle the video, subplans, or whatever I want to rename it. I can go in and I can change whether it's, unlisted, private, or public. I'm going to leave it as unlisted here. I can actually even schedule it. Like, say, for instance, I want to make sure the video, I want it to come out at a certain time. I can schedule when I want it to come out there. The other thing I can do, if you scroll down, you can change the thumbnail on it. So what I mean by that, of course, is the picture that you're going to see when you're searching for the video. And sometimes you may not like the picture you have there. One thing you can do, if you notice some of my videos there that I was using, let me go back to my main page of my YouTube. And if I go back to my main page of my YouTube and go to my channel, if you notice, like a lot of my videos, I put thumbnails on them because it's just kind of a little bit more professional way to make your videos look. The way you have to do that, you have to verify your account, and it's just like a little process. You just click on it, and then they'll say verify your account, and they'll send you a text, and that's all you got to do. But I can upload my own picture to say that this is the picture I want to appear on my thumbnail. Now, I guess since we're here already, I'll go ahead and talk about the whole Koopa thing. I can't remember what the acronym is, but you can see right here it's already set to yes, it's made for kids. With Koopa, let me get to the. What's that? Have I lost you here? I'm sorry.
Videos on the side.
Yeah, if you click videos on the left-hand side there,
Okay.
you should be able to see, you'll see the manager, and you'll see your video there.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so that's where if you click on that video, it'll open up this whole thing of all these ways that you can edit that video.
Yeah, you're up to the kid part. Okay.
Yeah, and so I'll go ahead and talk here real briefly about Koopa because it's, again, something that just came out. This is all part of a lawsuit against YouTube, all right? Koopa stands for, again, the Children's Online Privacy Protection Rule, or Act, basically, is what it is. And the big thing is that they're not supposed to be tracking or watching what kids 13 years old and younger are doing. And so actually the state of New York sued YouTube saying that you guys are tracking minors on your site. And so YouTube actually ended up settling for $170 million with the state of New York and said, okay, we're going to settle with you and we're going to start abiding by this Koopa law. And so it basically, like you can see here, it says if your primary audience is going to be 13 years or younger, you have to say that your video is made for kids. And if your video is made for kids, that basically means it's not searchable. People aren't going to be able to find it. It's not going to be monetized really the same way, so that's why creators are freaking out, because those people who actually make money off YouTube and live off YouTube are very upset because they're worried their videos are going to be labeled made for kids. And it makes it where, they can't like track, because like whenever you watch YouTube, it'll suggest like, here's another video you might like. They can't do that anymore. If they, if it is labeled for kids, it won't suggest like a new video for them to go to. And so for us as educators, honestly, I guess this isn't really a big deal for us as educators.
So if we say made for kids, we wouldn't be able to find it?
You would be able to find, you could send out a link to it, but other people.
I couldn't publish?
You could publish it, but other people couldn't search for it. Like if they search, like say you made a video about, the periodic table, and somebody typed in the periodic table looking for a video about it, your video would not be one of the ones
because it's labeled for kids.
Because it's labeled for kids.
And if I label something not for kids and they deem it for kids, that's where some of the problems.
That's where the whole thing is.
YouTube says this is for kids, even though you don't intend.
YouTube says if you have something labeled for adults that's made for kids, they can
change.
They can collect $42,000 from you. Is what they said. They said they'll fine you $42,000 for doing that. So a lot of people are freaked out about it. But if you go online and look at some of the rules about this whole Koopa thing, YouTube is being very lenient about it because they're not necessarily single. Because like for instance, I make these little history videos that I've been kind of putting out and everything out on YouTube, and they're kind of made more or less for students, but honestly, adults could watch them as well. And so they're basically saying if you have cartoons that you're putting out there, or things that are obviously like for toddlers, and you're saying that this is an adult thing, then you're going to be in trouble. But again, for us as educators, just leave it as marked for kids, because honestly, it's like we're not necessarily really looking for a lot of people to watch these. But if you notice, like for me, let me go back to my videos. If you look at some of my videos here, I've got a lot of them unlisted. But if you look down here, I've got some of these as public. Like the one that I had about this session, I've got it as public. It's not for kids because I have it, it's supposed to be teachers that are watching it. A lot of these tutorials that I make about different technology tools, I got them as public and not for kids because, again, I'm focusing on teachers. That's who I want to be watching this, so that way people can actually search for them and find those videos.
Have they already made changes or started, or are they going to?
As of January 1st.
January 1st.
Yeah. And that's where they're saying now, you have to, and that's why initially it automatically puts your video as made for kids, because it's just simply saying that's where we're going to set it just to be safe, and you're the one that's going to have to go in there and say, no, this video is not made for kids. All right, and so a few other things you can put on your video, if your video, like mine maybe focuses on, lesson plans, I can put tags in here. So if I just put little words, lessons, classroom, put a comma behind each one, I can make these little tags, so that way when people search for my video, they might be more likely to find it if they see those tags. One other thing that you guys might be interested in creating your own videos, if you go here to the more options, so if you click there at the top and do more options, this is where you can control the comments on your video. So right down here, it says comments, and it's got for me to allow all comments. I can set that as, hold all comments until I actually get to look at them, or I can just say no comments whatsoever. That's another thing. On kids' videos, you can't comment if they have any kids' video. Yeah, you can't comment on kids' videos either. But honestly, for like us who's maybe just putting out a video of instructions on how to do a math problem, you're probably just going to turn the comments off because you're going to have some ridiculous kid that will say something dumb on there that's just like, I don't really want to see that, and I really don't care about your dumb thing that you're going to say about my video. So a lot of times I'll just turn the comments off on my videos because I really don't want them to see it. So does that whole manager thing make sense? This whole screen that you go to? So as you make more videos, like you should see, you know, all of your videos will build up in here, and you'll be able to see just all the tons and tons and tons of videos, you know, that you've created throughout time. So again, you know, that's where you go to manage everything with your videos. I think I've covered just about everything I wanted to cover here. We talked about making a title. You can put in a description for your video again when you go in here into the manager. Put in a description of what the video is actually all about. Talked about viewing settings, public, unlisted, private. I guess here on this page again, you can see here's your actual link to your video, or you can just click on the link and it'll open it up, and you can just copy that then at the top.
All right, so we got
So again, you know, there's lots of ways you can get to that link. Yeah, I think I've covered everything that I wanted to cover here. So I guess, did you have any other questions about YouTube, or was there something else you were really looking for that you wanted to talk about with YouTube? Have I thoroughly confused you about everything with YouTube?
That's good.